Everest Live, how's it going? I am here on the couch. We've taken the couch out of the tent at Everest Base Camp with a great friend of mine and an incredible man, incredible humanitarian, Dr. Behrouz,
Thank you very much.
who's been working here as an expedition doctor on Mount Everest for the past 7 years, right?
Yes, 7 years I'm an expedition doctor.
Yeah. And Behrouz is from Iran. He has an incredible life history, which we're going to get to in just a second. And we're just so excited to bring to you our live daily dispatch from Everest Base Camp today, May 21st, for Everest Live. I'm Ben Ayers, and we have an exciting day today. It's not quite record-breaking like it was yesterday, but as predicted, we've seen over 150 summits again today. Today, the weather on the mountain was pretty good. The winds were pretty low, right?
Yes.
And so it's been a pretty successful day. Again, not quite half, but almost half of what we saw yesterday. I think today was a great day for teams going up and down, and a lot of our friends as well summited today. So today, Kristen Harila got to the top of Lhotse without oxygen. So that's the second in her Triple Crown attempt. When she summited Lhotse, she was with her Sherpa Ming Temba, who was a part of the Everest fixing team, and he also helped open the route up to Nuptse. So that means that Ming Temba has already completed the Everest Triple Crown this year, and he did it within 8 days. Also, Tenzing David Sherpa from Asian Trekking. He's sort of a tourism entrepreneur here. He also wasn't intending to climb Nuptse, but the circumstances were such that he went up on that team with Kristen, and he did the Triple Crown in 5 days. So some great records.
Yeah, really great record.
That are happening kind of accidentally. Classic. Sorry, our base camp is falling apart, and every now and then we just have to turn around and make sure we're not going with it. So some great records in that sense. It's really cool that the two sort of Nepali climbers did the Triple Crown accidentally. Kind of classic. I need to issue a name correction from yesterday. It was Adam Sweeney, not Tim Sweeney, the 22-year-old youngest Irishman to climb Everest. And by the end of the day, last night, 3 climbers climbed at 11:54 p.m. So technically that was counted for yesterday's number, which is officially the highest number of ascents from Nepal in a single day at 273 summits yesterday. Behrouz, did you see just on the radio and as a person who's watching the teams, I was surprised that we had so many summits yesterday with such little problems. How did that look from your perspective?
Yeah, the about the number and about the problem, I can take. We had not a big problem. We had not a big issue. We had some small frostbite, and some small, for example, not injury, for example, high altitude illness.
Yeah.
But in the minor level, mild level, really, yesterday was great. Great number without any problem, fortunately, and they summited Everest and they came back safely.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And even today, it was good. Very good. Yeah.
So it's been an extremely safe season up high. We are looking at higher winds in the next couple days, so that may change the equation, but hopefully not. Fingers crossed for that, right?
Yes, I hope so. Nothing happened. But maybe we have some more frostbite in the couple of days because the wind some days will increase to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. And the temperature, like for example, average is minus 25 degrees. One mistake is enough. 1 minute is enough to have frostbite.
Yeah. So fingers crossed for that. Another interesting Everest news, Pasangdawa Padawa Sherpa from Pangboche. He's sort of a legendary Sherpa climber who climbed Everest for the 30th time this season. He works with Tag Nepal. He turned around and went back up tonight for his 31st. So Padawa is hot on the heels of Kamirita. Let's see. This season, they probably won't break the record, but it might be interesting next year to see what happens with that.
They're following each other.
Yeah, exactly. And in other cool news, Russian paratrooper and double amputee Rustam Nabiev summited Everest today. We've been seeing Rustam around, and the amazing thing about him is that he's a true, I don't know what's a true or false double amputee, but his amputation is literally at the hip joint. And so he pulled himself up the ropes. He had climbed Manaslu last year, and now he's made it to the top of Mount Everest, which is incredible.
It is very difficult. Imagine when we go up with the food, it is difficult for us after a
Yeah.
lot of the preparation. Rostam did only with the hands. I surprised with him.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically, he's amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely unbelievable effort from the Russian team. So congrats to them. And also, the last piece of news that I'd like to share that you'll all be excited about is, well, two last pieces. First is Dr. Shaunna Burke, who's climbing with stage 4 cancer, is heading up tonight. So everybody send some good vibes her way for her summit. Hopefully we'll have some great news tomorrow morning. And our friend River Ahmed became this morning the very first Afghani woman to summit Mount Everest. So she's safely on her way down. She's in Camp 2 now. We can't wait to give her a celebratory hug. So great job, River. And everybody else who summited today and yesterday. Huge effort. This is what Everest is all about. We're so, so excited about it all.
Yes, it is really a teamwork. All of the team and company that are doing together for this season, they have a big achievement.
Yeah.
And congrats to all of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that we're seeing the biggest year in terms of Everest permits.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want to say this out loud, but it's been very safe so far, and may that continue. We're not going to
Yes.
say more than that to curse it. But it's great news. I want to give a quick shout out to all of our friends. I've had a lot of messages from my friends at Mountain Film in Telluride, Colorado, which kicks off today. Congratulations, everybody. This is one of the first years in a while I don't have a film in Mountain Film, but we're all there in spirit. Have fun, y'all. And we're sending you lots of love from base camp. But what I want to talk to you about, Dr. Behrouz,
Oh, please.
is you have such an extraordinary story. And so, how did you first come to Nepal? You came in 2015 with the earthquake, right?
Yes, yes, yes. My background in Iran was the emergency medicine, and I was involved in the search and rescue for many years. I worked in the relief and rescue organization for many years, and my job was search and rescue and emergency medicine. I was one active member from the IFRC and even the UN and the Doctors Without Border for many years, more than 10 years. I participated in all of the big disasters around the world. For example, Haiti earthquake, Japan tsunami, I was a field manager in all of them. In the Nepal earthquake, I arrived to help the people, and I involved in the search and rescue for around 41 days. In that 41 days, something like a revolution happens in my life. When I went to the remote area of Nepal, before I came to Nepal, only like a trekker, like a climber, coming here and go to hotel, go for climbing, and come back to your country, or sometime for training. But on that time, around the 40 days, I live with the local people in the remote area affected by earthquake to help them. And I think Nepal is an amazing country with amazing people. I think about that. Maybe I should be here. Maybe I can be more effective. Maybe I can do some work because I had a little, for example, experience in disaster.
Mhm.
I started with some like project.
Yeah.
I set up for the first time in the Nepal Community Emergency Response Team in the Kathmandu University, in the wards of the Kathmandu city, in the 16 monastery of Buddhism. And it was amazing. Imagine near the 1 year I was involved in this work morning and night
Yeah.
to teach people about the disaster and how you can save a life. And because I worked before and many years in the high altitude medicine and mountain rescue, in the same time I think, okay, this is one part of my job. I can involve in the rescue too. I started another project with the firefighting system to teach them about the urban search and rescue and the rope rescue, rope access in Kathmandu, Patan, and Lalitpur. In the same time, I participated in a lot of the conference and mountaineering event like that. And randomly, after one conference about the avalanche, I find this opportunity I can be a faculty member of the Nepal Mountain Academy. After some interview and checking my, for example, certification and
Yeah.
what is my work, they accepted me like a faculty member. I will be happy because I love teaching. If I have a little knowledge, I love to share my knowledge with another people. From the childhood, I have this. What is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
this
desire to
yeah,
teach.
this
Yeah.
desire to teach. It. I'm very happy with teaching. And because I started climbing when I was a teenager, I was a good runner and a climber and a cyclist in Iran. I thought, okay, Nepal is the land of the Himalaya. I can sometimes do climbing. I started go for climbing and go for trekking. And from 7 years ago, uh, I make a contract with one of the biggest company here, Seven Summit Trek and 14 Big Expedition, as an expedition doctor and responsible for the rescue. And I am happy with this. In these 7 years, in all of the expedition of Everest, Manaslu, and whatever, 100% I am in the field, and in every expedition, averagely 1 month. And except that, sometime for another mountain, in some season for another mountain, I will go to work and to help.
Yeah.
And when I'm free in the Kathmandu, I'm working with the university and sometime in the hospital too, of course.
Yeah.
But my main job is the mountain rescue, high altitude medicine, and teaching in the mountaineering university. And I'm very
Amazing.
happy with that.
And so you sort of have you have a perspective on the Nepal mountaineering world that many people don't have, because you're teaching the next generation,
Yes.
but you're also responding to accidents as they happen. What are you seeing in terms of one of the things that I've noticed, and tell me if you think this is true? I've noticed that the Nepali climbers, the Sherpas, the guides on the mountain are becoming more and more professional over time. Have you are you seeing that as
Yes,
well?
even in the 7 years, I realized that year by year they become not only strong, they become trained. For example, if you think about for example, 2016,
Yeah.
2017, after the earthquake, you can find a lot of the Sherpa that are strong, but you cannot find a lot of the educated, my means educated in passing a lot of the training course. But nowadays, they technically and physically and mentally they are changing all the record of the mountaineering, and day by day they become more interested. Every year we have a lot of the training course for the trekking guide, mountain guide, a lot of the course for the rescue, and they are very interested and they are very capable, and year by year I can see with my eye, oh, it is effective.
Yeah.
They are rising up and they have some word to tell in the world. Many years ago, always we thinking about for example, you can find a technical climber with
Right.
the knowledge in the Europe and the USA, but nowadays in the Nepal we have uncountable people of this, and year by year it's increased, and I'm very happy with that.
Do you think that's part of the reason why we're seeing so few fatalities and injuries now?
Yes, without doubt it is effective. For example, I will tell you about our company. Before any expedition, we have a lot of the preparation course. We have a lot of the wilderness first aid course. We have a lot of the high altitude medicine course, and always we connected to each other. For example, last year we had the one of high altitude cerebral edema in the Camp 4. Our guide managed it. It is unbelievable. High altitude cerebral edema in the deep coma. Our guide.
At Camp 4.
Yes, at Camp 4. The use of the medicine, they evacuated him. The use of the oxygen properly and evacuate. He's safe and he's one of the best climbers till now. My means is
Yeah.
year by year with training, we can change it. And mountain become more safe for every person. Mountain is like a point here. Himalaya is a point from any place they coming here is a dreamland for us. And when it is safe, we are more happy.
Yeah, right on. So to shift gears a little, I want to also talk to you about something that I've observed at Mount Everest. So last year, for those of you who followed Everest Live last year, I was sick as a dog. You guys all saw that. And Dr. Behrouz took such good care of me. And I think
Thank you
that's
very much.
when our friendship really began.
Yes.
But, we're at a time right now where my country, America, is at war with your country.
Yes.
That war isn't affecting I had to change my plane tickets coming over. But that, aside from an slight economic burden, we're very removed from that. But I just one of the things that I feel that Mount Everest does that's incredible is it brings the world together.
Yes, of
and it
course.
breaks down those barriers,
Yes, yes. In the mountain, especially in the Himalaya, we have not border. We sit together. You are from the USA. I'm from the Iran. My friend is from the Russia. Another friend is from the Ukraine. We
Yeah.
sit together like a friend, like a brother. We work together, team working to achieve. Yes. And we are happy together. We have not any problem like a political border, like any problem.
Yeah.
And I hope everything be okay in all of the world and the globe become more peaceful. But
Absolutely.
here we have not any border, and I'm very, very happy with that. Very peaceful era. We are together.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, and it's one of those things where right now base camp is slowly being disassembled. As climbers come down, they're heading to Kathmandu, they're hiking down, and their tents are all coming apart. And I've been struck by how sad I get
Yes.
when base camp is being taken apart, because we have to go back into the real world, kind of.
Yes.
And being here in this community with people like you, Behrouz, like living in America, I don't have an opportunity to interact with people from Iran and to understand really what's happening in the world, you know?
Yes.
And I'm so sad to let that go. So I just also wanted to thank you for being such a humanitarian, taking such good care of all of us. And yeah, just how do you feel when you see?
It is my pleasure. Really, I'm. Maybe some of my friends they will tell me, Behrouz, this work is very hard. 6 months per year, you are in the high altitude, up and down, many times with a lot of the accident, patient like this. But no, my heart is very, very happy here because I believe, like a human, I can be maybe a little effective. That's enough for me. When we are here, we don't check the, for example, politic news.
Yeah.
We don't think, for example, today we have negotiation or war will continue. Really, I don't think about that. My responsibility is another item. I focus on my responsibility. We are like a family. All this, for example, 1,000, 2,000 members, we're like a family. Always, hello, how are you, and take care of each other.
Yeah.
In the worst condition, here is like a survival condition sometimes. In the survival condition, we support each other.
Yeah.
In my idea, this is peace.
Yeah.
Pure peace, and that's enough.
Amen. That's beautiful. Well, we've got some questions here. Behrouz, let's see what everyone says. Roughly how many people who are attempting the summit are not reaching the summit? So I would say, my guess, Behrouz, I want to hear your guess on this.
Yes.
My guess is that 60% of summit hopefuls make it to the summit.
In my idea, yeah, this year averagely 60, maybe a little more, they are successful summit.
Okay, so you think higher than 60?
Yes, I think it's higher than 60 this year.
Wow, that's huge.
Yes, this is a good success.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a great year. Part of it too is because the ice fall is so easy.
Yes, this year ice wall is easy. Even between Camp 1 and Camp 2, every year we have like this, like a zigzag. But this year is completely direct from Camp 1 to Camp 2. Route is much better. At first, I was worried about the ice fall because we had some struggle. Of course, we had one accident and 2 victims. But after that, route is much better. This year, we had a lot of the problem with the weather. But even weather this is 8,000 meters. This is Everest.
Yeah.
Always we should think we have wind, it is cold, and we should prepare for all of this condition.
Yeah, you can't expect good weather up here.
Yes, we cannot expect like a good weather. Not possible. Here is
It's
8,800 meters. Everest, yeah.
Absolutely. Amazing news. Congratulations. Go, Shaunna, go. Absolutely. We'll keep you updated. What an incredible man.
Thank you very
Transferring
much.
skills is important.
It's my pleasure.
I agree completely. How many climbers this year, and why aren't we hearing about the long lines and the problems with so many climbers this year? Why aren't we hearing about the long lines and the problems they cause? We're happy to talk about the long lines and the problems that they cause. It is a real issue. That's part of why I've been so surprised there's been so few injuries.
Yes.
Because during yesterday's big push, there were reports coming down that people were stuck up above 8,000 meters for like 2 hours, 3 hours at a time.
Yes.
And that can be very deadly, especially because you're worried about your oxygen supplies.
Yeah, of course.
What are you seeing in terms of, I think yesterday, nobody intended yesterday to be as crowded as it was. I think everyone thought that yesterday was going to be the day that wasn't crowded. So they all went.
Yeah. And yesterday, because we had a good weather, I think we know that we have technology and all of the company, they checking the weather.
Yeah.
Every day we had a little wind. Yesterday was a little much better. And we had less wind. I think most of the company push for the same days. But fortunately, even we had traffic. And I'm always, after 2019, worried about the traffic in Everest. But fortunately, with that big traffic, we had not accident.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And it's like a congrats for everyone. They summited safely and they are coming down. Some of them, they came back here safely. That's very good.
But for your perspective, though, I think we got lucky this year. Like, do you feel like I feel like there needs to be steps taken to reduce that amount of crowding. Do you agree with that, or do you see that?
Yes, in my idea, if the the company, especially the biggest company, we have a lot of big company, they make more partnership to each other to make a plan. For example, all of them, they can check the weather forecast, make a plan to calculate how many people they will pushing for the summit today. Because in any condition, in 8,000 meter, in 1 second, weather can change. And if the weather change, for example, if we have 300 member on the line, after that,
Yeah.
we cannot do anything, and
Yeah.
rescue is meaningless. We had this tragedy like in 2019. Another, my idea is, sometimes the traffic is not because of the bad weather and environmental factor, it is because of the client.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, even this year I saw some of the client, they have dream of the Everest, that is good. But in my idea, if you have dream of the Everest, you should try for your dream.
Yeah.
You should have good physically, mentally, technically, psychologically prepared and come here.
Yeah.
Some of them, they coming here without any preparedness. And when they are in the long line, if they be slow, because in the Everest we cannot go right or left, we cannot pass the people on that time, minute by minute our oxygen will finish, and high altitude illness always like a shadow is coming for us. My mean is, maybe in the future the company must a little focus on the client. Maybe no need, maybe for example, maybe background, how many years you are doing climbing, and maybe one simple physical examination.
Sure.
Yes, and I saw another problem. I saw some climber, they went off with a big medical issue. Unfortunately, in some of the company, unfortunately, they don't check the clients before they are starting the climbing about the
Medical
medical.
conditions. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very important. For example, I have a problem. I did, what is this? Open heart surgery.
Okay.
I'm here. On the way, I cannot walk. And after that, my 100 meters, they cannot walk. It is not only risky for me, risky for my Sherpa and my guide, risky for all of this group, they are behind me. And we have this year even to remember like that.
Interesting.
And who is responsible? The company. They
Yeah.
should check medical, for example, condition of all of the climber. And they should have some criteria and indication. For example, with this, I cannot go up. With this, you allowed it go for Everest.
Yep.
Because one mistake can make a disaster for us.
And for many people.
Yes, for many people.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. And I think that another thing too is to be more strict about time limits.
Yes.
One of the things that we see is there are people that are taking 12 hours, 13 hours to get to Camp 1.
Yeah.
And that should be a reason for that client to
Yeah.
come back and try again next year.
Yeah, I'm 100% agree with you. In some company, we make a time limit. For example, I can remember when we see the Tash from 5 years ago for Everest, Himalayas, all of the mountain, we make a time limit. From here, for example, to Camp 1, 7 hours is maximum. Yes, if any person cannot 7 hours, means he is not fit for this exercise. But for example, we check yesterday, you will surprise. I saw between the client from, for example, one company, between Camp 1 and Camp 2, he went 15 hours.
What?
15 hours.
That should be like 3 hours.
Yes. Yeah, 2-3 hours maximum if you go average. 3 hours
It's slow.
slow, yeah. But 15 hours. I'm surprised. Why the company, they should control, they should make a time limit. Because he will go up after the Lucifer, he is on the line and make a traffic.
Yeah.
And it is a big issue and it is very dangerous. In my idea, I think maybe Nepal government make some rules and regulatory for that too, because some of the company follow the rules, some of the company they don't follow anything.
Yeah.
They have no time limits.
Yep.
And they will go only ahead, and they are very risky and dangerous.
I totally agree. I think there does need to be a level of management and regulation from the Nepali government. This is something that the big companies want.
Yes.
They want it to be safer. Everyone wants it to be safer. I think there's also a level of responsibility for the clients. It kind of goes back to what we've been talking about in previous interviews. I feel that coming to Everest prepared, being fit, practicing, climbing another 8,000 meter peak beforehand, 7,000 meter peak beforehand, knowing what you're doing, is being respectful to the mountain.
Yes.
You are giving the mountain the honor that it deserves, and you're acknowledging how difficult it is. rather than
Yes.
just sort of helicoptering in and
Yes.
hoping for the best.
Yes, but Nepal government must make a rule and regulate properly and supervise the rules.
Yeah.
We have some rules and regulate, but nobody
There's no
supervise the
enforcement.
rules.
Yeah.
And no enforcement, and it is not working.
Sadly, that is the truth. Let's see what else we got. I'm so sad the season's ending. So am I. We do have, yeah, we're all sad. It's been such a good year. But have faith that at Everest Live, we have so much content that we haven't edited yet because we're hypoxic and tired. We will be able to extend the season, and bigger and better things are happening. We're going to try to be able to keep people updated on the Pakistan climbing season and the Karakoram this summer, Manaslu this fall. So we're going to keep it up. But yeah, we're sad, but all good things have to come to an end. How long would it theoretically take to summit from Everest Base Camp without stopping at the camps? So, I mean, this comes down to there's two fastest known times FKT attempts this year. These two guys, Carl Egeloff and Tyler Andrews, tried also to do this last year.
Yes.
And both of them got completely shut down.
Yeah.
But they're trying to climb from the base of base camp to the summit without oxygen to break a record. I think Tyler thinks he can do it in under 20 hours.
Yeah, in my idea, he can do under 20 hours, but his opinion is he want to change the record.
Yeah.
And the record is less than 11 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yes. In my idea, not possible.
Okay.
Not possible. Need a lot of work. Of course, Tyler is amazing. He's very fit. Has good knowledge. But because I saw him last year, he tried 4 times.
Yeah.
And non-success. In my idea, 1 year is not enough to change one record like a 10 hour, 30 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Without doubt, they will do less than 20 hours.
Yep.
Maybe most of them. But less than 11 hours, no.
From base camp to summit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is
impossible.
Not impossible, but maybe in my idea, this year not possible in my idea.
Yeah. So we will see. So for clients, I mean, I think that they just can't do that push. You can't do it. But for superhuman trail runners.
Yes, they are super.
Yeah, 10, 12 hours, something like that. When we remove the politicians and politics, we realize that we're all human and have more in common than not. Truer words were never spoken. I feel like one of the great tragedies of human nature is that we can all envision the right way to be.
Yes.
And it's so difficult for us to get there. That's what I feel is like, that's, if you all these different origin stories, I always feel like that's the apple that Eve ate, is the knowledge of humans know how we can be, yet somehow we screw it up time after time. But it's so nice to be here at base camp. Another reason, I mean, we've talked about this all season, is how I think that so many people, why does Kristen Harila keep coming back to Everest Base Camp? The climbing is one part of it, but it's more about being a part of this community.
Yes.
And it's really extraordinary. It's such a wonderful thing.
Yes, this is not only the climbing and go to the summit.
Yeah.
We are one family.
Yeah.
We're living together. We're passing a lot of time together. And this is different.
Yeah.
A summit is my idea is only one side of the mountaineering. On the route, in what is this? Base camp life is another item.
Yeah.
And we should have everything together.
Yeah, I agree. Some other Sherpas. Are clients often pushing Sherpas to ignore or change turnaround times? Yeah. I think it's pretty common.
Yes.
And that's part of the dynamic, because like this power dynamic, it's one of the things that we've seen. So this year, I'm not going to give too many details, but I saw an incident where a client gave a Sherpa a bunch of stuff to carry up for the summit push. And the Sherpa went off to pack the bags, sleeping bag, all that stuff. And a few minutes later, the Sherpa comes back with headphones, a battery bank, all this crap that the Sherpa didn't want to carry, and gave it back to the client. And the reason I'm saying this is something that may not have happened 5-10 years ago. But we are seeing the Sherpa workforce becoming more professional, more trained, and much more in charge. And again, I think that's what's leading to the more safety. And the Sherpas are willing to put their foot down and enforce those turnaround times in ways that I think were more difficult previously.
In my idea, we don't forget the Sherpa is another human. He's our partner mountaineer or partner climber with us. We cannot expect everything from the Sherpa. Unfortunately, sometimes I saw many times, for example, even the climber, they expect from the Sherpa something in the responsibility. They are not responsible for this, but because they believe he's my Sherpa, and for example, maybe I paid for that. Maybe for example, he's more strong than me.
Yeah.
I'm more expert than Sherpa. This is not right.
Yeah.
At least we should come to some level. On that time, we know. For example, our Sherpa is our guide.
Yep.
And our guide responsibility is completely clear. Who he's responsible, for example, technical navigation, take care of us. But for example, I will tell you one simple. For example, I gave my sleep bag
Yep.
to my Sherpa when I'm going to the camp 2. Yes. Also, in another hand, some of the client they put the heavy item
In the
inside
sleeping bag, I know.
Yeah, inside the sleep bag, 2-3 power bank, for example, a lot of the food. One sleep bag is 2 kg maximum, because 60 kg, and they will give Sherpa. This is not good. This is not humanity.
It's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair. Yeah, we should take care of each other. Sometimes we should take care of our Sherpa. Sometimes our Sherpa is responsible to take care of us. We are together for catch a gold. Yeah,
absolutely. I completely agree. And so for all the Everest climbers that are watching, tip your Sherpa really, really well. All of the mountain workers, not just your Sherpa, your base camp staff, your guide, your outfitter. It's the best place to be generous. It's a thing I wanted to throw in there. So absolutely, the company should screen clients for health conditions. Totally agree. You can't believe that they don't. It should be in their interest to do that. I agree with that. I think, unfortunately, on the lower end of there's such huge price competition on the lower end of the expedition spectrum. And those companies are not going to say no to a client because their margins are so thin. And this is where regulation is important, where there needs to be a minimum standard to avoid that race to the bottom.
I agree totally.
And what will our posts be called when we're sending them from some place other than Everest? They're still going to be called Everest Live. Same channel, same everything, same level of excitement. So stay tuned. And when is Tyler and Carl going for the summit? That is $1 million question that I have been asking a lot, and nobody is giving me a straight answer. Tyler, from what I know, is still training in Kahare. I don't think he's at base camp, but Carl is here. He did some training runs. So,
and of course, they are waiting for a good weather because they want to make a record. In bad weather, they cannot push up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very risky.
And I think they're waiting for the crowds to die down.
Yes, even in the when it's crowded, not possible.
Yeah. So I'm guessing today's the 21st. We probably won't see it 22nd, 23rd because of high winds.
Yeah, I think maybe after 25.
Yep.
Yeah, before 25, we have not good weather. Only we have one good weather, and even it is crowded, they will wait for another window, and it's become empty. The route must be empty.
Yep. So probably in 4 or 5 days from now. What is the bulk of? Have the bulk of people made their summit push already? I feel like we're over 50%. But probably 40% to go?
Yes, maybe over 50%, because in another days we have some small group they summited, and yesterday and today we had a good number.
Yep, I agree. So I think we'll start seeing the numbers going down. They'll probably be around 100 or less. I do feel like the climbers that gambled and waited till the later in the season will be rewarded with that, although the winds and the weather are still sort of iffy. They might have to battle some higher winds in these next few days. Is there a published official list somewhere of people that have summited? Yes, absolutely. Check out the Himalayan database. You just Google that. That's run by our good friend Billy Bierling. It's been around from Miss Hawley's days, who's a living, no longer living, formerly living legend. So that has database on every climber of every mountain in the Himalayas. You can get information from 8000ers.com. You can look on Wikipedia, but that list is out there. The Nepal government also keeps that list for ascents from the Nepal side. It's very long now. I think we're at something 13,000 summits total.
Yes.
Of the mountain.
Yes.
So there's quite a few people on that list, but it's still a great list. And that is our daily dispatch for today. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Behrouz.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being who you are. We appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Thanks for coming down and sitting on the couch. We'll talk to you all tomorrow, which is going to be our last, I don't want to say it out loud. In theory, it's our last dispatch from base camp, but the chances of us being stuck here because of some sort of travel conundrum are probably pretty high. So who knows? We'll see, but we'll check you again. Same time tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Take care. Beautiful. Thanks, Behrouz.
Thank you, brother.